Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Whitepaw colony. And last time we got our transportation network set up, or mostly set up. Most of it is put together. And today I think we've got a couple of things that we need to get to work on as well. First of all, I want to get the pumpkins in here, which means we need the large farm, which means we need to get the blueprints done on that. And it is better to start early than it is not to start early, because we definitely need to wait these 12 days, unfortunately. A lot of Whitepaws have really long wait times on stuff. So we'll put those in, and we'll actually set them to go ahead and copy the large blueprint. There we go, large farmhouse. So when that finally gets done, it'll copy them over, and we shouldn't have to worry about making them up anymore. The other thing I want to do today, I want to get set up so that we can get a transportation over to here, and we'll take a look at that here in just a second. And the last thing, I would like to try and see if we can make it up this rock face somehow so that we can get up here to the back end of this particular area, because I think this would make a great reservoir for us, but we have to filter out the bad water somehow. Now, we do have another place where the bad water could come in, but we'll deal with that eventually. We just need to get up here to this first. But let's start on the getting things set up to get transportation over here. Now, these towers, as far as I know, are just one of two towers that can hold all of the extra posts. The hauling post, the what else is there? There's a forestry upgrade post, just all of these, but you have to have a small tower. And there's the forester, which counts as a small tower. I guess the drying tower? No, the drying tower does not count as a tower. Or it counts as a tower, but not as a small tower. I'm not exactly sure on how that works. But once they're there, we can do... Let's go ahead and just take care of this real quick. We'll get those out of there. And we'll put in, let's grab one of these towers here. There we go. And we're going to put you right there to connect in. And then we're going to do another, let's see, where's that harvester hauling tower? There we go. That's what we want. We're going to get that up there. And then because this harvester's cottage is so weird, we kind of have to, I guess, make some weird accommodations to get up there. There might be other ways to do it, but right now the only thing I can find is to get a tall platform up there. Then you get a regular one, and then you get some stairs, and that should get you up there. You're gonna need a suspension bridge to get across the gap. There you go. And then you just connect it in there just like that, so they can build all of those. Now, we've got our zipline station here, so now we need to get a couple of towers here and there. How far out can these towers go? Looks like one can go there, and then we'll just build over... Oops, no, let's put you maybe here. Yeah, let's put you there. And then from here, can I go in between and get to both of these? It does not look like it. Where does this one have to go? There, and then will this one go in between? Yeah, that'll go in between. So we've got that all hooked up. Let's go ahead and rope them together. There we go. Rope, rope, and more rope. There we go. That should get us all connected, so they'll be able to connect to our berry fields over there. Although our berry fields have been getting hit pretty hard, so we'll see how those turn out eventually. Another thing I think we're going to need is somewhere to make ropes a lot faster. So I'm going to put that in over here. Let's go ahead. We'll erase this path for now. We do need to come back and fix this whole thing. The small wheels were great at the start, but I want to get in some of the larger ones to get a little bit more power. Plus, we've got a couple of places where we can put in batteries. We'll see if we can get to that today. I don't know if we will or not. But let's see if we can do a rope maker real quick. There we go. And we'll just go ahead. We'll put in this one here. And we need a couple of regular blocks. There we go. And then we only need one up from there. So they should be able to get through the back end of that. And that will lead them out to this. Let's see. Do we need some storage here? I think we do. One for some paper. Let's do warehouse. We'll put a warehouse for paper. And then we'll do one for ropes over here. So let's do paper here. Paper going out, and then ropes, which we'll have a decent amount of rope coming in here in a minute, but I fear that the slowness of our florist might slow us down on rope production. So we'll go ahead and hopefully get some rope made, but it's definitely going to take a minute once they're all caught up. I think it's time to try and go ahead and get over this mountain somehow. We don't yet have ladders that would solve most of this problem, but we don't really have the science at the moment for it. So we're going to go the difficult way and just go up and over with ladders. Let's see. So we can connect in there. It'll come around here. Now, there we might need a platform. There we go. We'll come up and around. Platform can come here. Let's see if this will get us up there. All right, that gets us up this far. And then can we go up even farther here? Sort of. But I can't really get there from there. Where else could I go? Well, if I put in maybe a platform here and some stairs on top. Let's see. Where else can we stair up to? If we do this, let's grab another platform. Stairs. We're almost there. Let's do stairs here. And then that takes us most of the way up. Let's see. We can connect in a lot of this. And then if we come over and around here, we might just be able to get a couple of stairways here, which that can eventually be some bad water, so we'll have to watch out for that. But with the drought going on, it might not be a terrible time to get through there. Go ahead and see if we can get there. And this all comes up over here. All that comes around, and then look at that. We can get all the way to both of those should we need it. And then we can even put some platforms up here and pull some water in from here if we need to. You know, we might as well go ahead and try and change out some of these. We're just basically waiting on nothing. There's no power coming in anyway, so let's go ahead. We're going to take out all of this. There we go. Let's grab maybe a platform here so we can get out to where we need to. Actually, they might be able to build from the other side here. Let's get one water wheel. Yep. And we'll get a second one. And there they probably can't build from the other side. So let's just grab this and go up this way. We'll have them build that in there. And then once those are out, we can get rid of those and get some extra power in there. Our zip lines are finally in over here, so our second network is started. And hopefully, we're pretty low on water, so hopefully these guys pull in a decent amount, can fill this up and take it out wherever it needs to go. I do have that set on. Yeah, I sure do. But while we're here, there's a whole bunch of stuff over here that I'd like to gather as well. So let's go ahead, grab a couple more staircases. There we go. And then we'll come across here and we'll do just the basic platform bridge. We have a decent amount of logs, so I'm not worried about the extra time, I guess, or resources that would use. That's probably the better term. Let's go ahead and we'll say, put in 4 and say everything over here should be able to be cut. Just go ahead, cut it all, and we'll see what happens. Oh, hello. And then we've got this here and that there. Oh, and don't forget the ones at the very start. There we go. And that'll give us some way to connect in over here. Once they clear this out, maybe we can get a bridge over to that. I was wondering why my rope maker wasn't actually being made, but it looks like we're out of fasteners. And fasteners does require some scrap metal, and scrap metal, well, we're almost out of that too. So I think it's time we get a couple beavers over here to knock down these trees, and then we can gather up some of the metal over here. Let's see how far out we can go. We'll just do that for now. And let's go ahead and grab our woodcutters. There's lumberjacks. There we go. And let's do metal. Actually, no, I want the scavenger. And we'll just do about 2 of them right here. Cut trees. We'll say these first. And when they say that they're out of stuff to do, we can cut the rest of it down. Now that I look at it, I don't think we're going to have enough extra scrap to make everything we need. So we're just going to connect this stuff in down here any way we can, basically. Let's go around the dead trees, through here, over to here, maybe around here. Oh, how about around here? There we go. That connects all of those in. There we go. And eventually, we'll remove all of that. But that will at least give us access to this, which, let's say those are very important to get done. So hopefully they actually get those done. This would sure be nice, though. I'm not sure what they need. They need everything. They haven't started on that yet. So, oh, there, they put the clay in there. So we'll get scavengers at least going. They've got the first large farmhouse one taken care of. So now they're copying over all of those plans, and that means I can finally put this in. I've been waiting to do this for a while, so let's see where we want that to go. Maybe here? Large farmhouse. Here we go. And that'll let us get a lot of this stuff out of here. So let's go ahead. We'll do that. And we will put in pumpkins. Let's plant crops. Pumpkins. We'll put pumpkins all in here. There we go. And anywhere else that it can reach? Can you guys plant down that far? You know what? You can. So let's go ahead and get some more cabbage in there. There we go. Might as well. You can go fairly far over. That should be fine. That, we'll say, is a little bit more important so that we can get all of that in there and start harvesting a lot more of this with relative ease. There we go. Our rope maker is finally in, so we can make sure nothing over here is set to ropes, because that wouldn't be very useful. Let's have you make some pencils for now, and we'll see where we can go from there. We've got brain boosting salts filled. Let's go back to maybe tar for a minute, because we might need that to build some stuff. You, I think, switched to the pollution resistance factor, which is fine. Didn't we have a storage of that somewhere? Could have swore we had a storage of that somewhere. Okay. Pollution resistance factor. No, we just have the 300. So let's go ahead and get a stockpile of that too. That can go out there. But for now, let's go back to the strong alcohol so we don't lose all of that. We've got plenty of the regular alcohol, so they should be able to make most of that. There we go. Our large farmhouse is in, and they should start planting those pumpkins here pretty soon. They're also already helping out with pulling in some of the cabbages. Is this one set for... You know what? Let's switch you around and make you the planter and make you the harvester, since you don't have quite as much reach there. And then they can help out with some of this other stuff. Where's everybody? You know what? I'm in this large farm. And why am I not planting anything? That's kind of strange. I should be planting pumpkins, and I'm not. And I'm not sure. Prioritize. Let's do pumpkins. You guys look like you are doing okay. Something's going on with that. We'll have to check and see what's going on there. We've got plenty of cabbages and peas, though. Can we get the pumpkins? Did I plant something? Oh, I planted cabbages. That would be why. We want pumpkins, not cabbages. There we go. That solves that problem. You tell them to plant the right thing, there's a better chance that they'll plant the right thing. So hopefully they'll get to planting that here in a bit. Yep, there they go. That field ought to be nice. Then, since we're getting pumpkins, let's take this out. We don't seem to have much use for berry storage at the moment anyway, because, well, we don't have that many berries. Let's go ahead and get in our pumpkin chips, prioritize that, and get that done, but say little need for workers since it can pretty much all be done itself. We are going to need some salt though, and I don't think we need iron at the moment. So let's do mountain salt, and we'll have them make a whole bunch of chips, which for chips, I should probably get some storage for that too. So let's go ahead and maybe we'll pull you in here, but flip you around and we'll say, store us some pumpkin chips. There we go. But they can be sent out to anywhere. Our zipline station finally got in, which is good. We definitely need it. And I've got about 13 or so extra beavers. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to basically mine this place bare of minerals. Down here, these guys look like they're pretty much... No, they've just got logs that they haven't picked up yet. So we'll leave them alone for now. I have noticed that once again our clumsy beaver friends have gone and got themselves diseased. So we're going to go ahead and buy the diseased bed. I think it takes bramble flowers, which might be kind of a pain to get, but hopefully once we get some of them in there, maybe some of them will just rest and get a little bit better even without the bramble flowers. I'm not sure. We'll have to see if we can find some extra at some point. Did manage to get all of these in, and it seems to have boosted our power a little bit, probably about 100 or so, maybe a little more. And it is filling up our batteries, so we'll let that go for now. This one, though, doesn't seem to be connected in yet, so let's go ahead and see. You know what? I don't know why we couldn't just replace these out since we're already taking care of the rest of them. Let's take that out and we'll put this in, and let's go that, and then we'll do a small one down at the very end. I guess I didn't need to take that one out, but that's okay. Let's see. We don't need this, but we do need power to come around this way. So let's go here, here, and can we connect in there so that I can connect in this last piece over here? Maybe. There we go. That can go there. And we'll get that one connected in eventually, and we'll figure out eventually how to replace all the rest of these, but we should have plenty of power at the moment. I think I'm going to try a little bit of an experiment. We've got 2 farms here that are right by the river, and we're always low on rice. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put stairs here to see if that will give them access to maybe some of these locations down here. And then they can try planting some rice, and if it comes to the point where there's bad water in here, or there's a lot of bad water, we'll just take out the stairs, and then they'll go back to just using whatever they were doing before. But maybe, just maybe, we can get a little bit more rice this way, and hopefully we can start keeping up on the rice, because it definitely needs some help. We'll put some down to this far. And let's go ahead and make sure that they get those in there. We just need to tell them that... Oh, they are working on them. Okay, good. There's one. There we go. Yeah, it's getting them down in there. In fact, it's a little bit farther than I thought it would be. So we'll put rice in here too. And rice in here. There we go. And hopefully that'll give us some extra rice from our small perpetual rice fields. It may not be perpetual, but hopefully it will at least be enough so that we can get some stored up. Well, our pumpkins are almost in. Our transportation system to the far reaches over here is set up, along with the transportation down to pull in more metal, so we're still good there. We're connected into our water pump, and I think with the big farm helping pull in some of these cabbages, we're doing better than we ever have on food. Now we just need a reliable source of a couple of the base materials that are a little harder to get, like the berries, or the bramble flowers, or the plant fibers would sure be nice. But we'll have to figure that all out another time. So, as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time.